My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection Royal Rumble Series, The Rock. And so here we have The Rock posing out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what he comes with. The Rock here does come with 3 pairs of hands. We do get a pair of grip hands. We do get a pair of fists. Then we get a pair of open palmed hands. The Rock also does come with the WWE World Heavyweight title, and it is a spinner version. And like with all the other titles, it does fit around his waist. Other than that, Rock here doesn't come with any other accessories, although that's quite a decent amount, seeing as how we got the spinner belt as well. So, with his accessories out of the way, let's actually have a closer look at his details. And so here we have a closer look at The Rock, and Mattel has done a really good job with this figure now. I will say that 90, more like 85% of this figure is complete reuse from the Elite 22 Rock that we got way back when, which I actually still have that figure. So most of what he has, it's something we've seen before, but there are some added improvements to this figure. For example, gone are the days of the cartoony paint, which I think is a good thing. Now, here on The Rock, I think the cartoony paint actually does help because The Rock is such a different character, and I don't know, there's something about the real effects that it looks good, but I feel like maybe the cartoony eyes and everything like that fits his character a little bit better. I don't know, that's just me, but overall it's still a really nice head sculpt, and the photo reel that they use on it looks really good. You can see some 5 o'clock stubble, which was never present on the original figure. So I do like that. Having a look at his torso now, this is the only new piece of this figure. Now, if we take a look at the Elite 22 Rock, you can see he has a really ripped torso, where this one has the bigger torso. It's not quite as muscular, but it's pretty much how The Rock looked when he faced CM Punk at the Royal Rumble. So in terms of accuracy, that's pretty good. I do like it. We do have his tattoo here, which is done really well, although I don't feel like his tattoo was actually made for this torso. The only reason I say that is because it looks really bunched up right here on his pectoral. I don't know, that's just me. It looks fine right here on the back, but it does feel a little bit squished right here. If we take a look at the original tattoo, it looks a little more full. It's coming out more, so it makes me think that maybe they should have redone the decal for this Rock. So other than that, I still think the tattoo going down his arm looks good. It's the exact same arm that we got, with the exception that we now get the interchangeable hands. Being an older Rock figure, we have the old Brahma Bull. If you keep up with the Rock, you know that he actually did change that tattoo. He got it covered up with a new bull. Really do like the elbow pads, and the elbow pads are removable just when you want to drop the most electrifying move on your opponents. He is wearing black trunks, which is what he was wearing at the Royal Rumble, with the silver lettering. On the back, we do have the silver Brahma Bull, so really good attention to detail there. We do get the really long, lean legs with the Rock, which looks really good. And then we go down to his knee pads, where they're just black knee pads, which that's what you've come to expect. Then we go on to his boots, which I think has always been something I liked about The Rock, is his boots. It looks really good. Now, his boots should actually be a little bit longer, and maybe the knee pads should be a little bit shorter. But there was very little skin from his boot to his knee pad during the match, so that's just one little detail. I'm just nitpicking. It's still a really good figure. And then we have black boots all the way around. So overall, a really impressive looking figure. So what we're going to do now is get him compared to other figures you may have in your collection. So here we have The Rock posed next to an Elite Stone Cold Steve Austin and an Elite Brock Lesnar. And finally, here we have The Rock posed next to the Elite 22 Rock and the Elite Then Now Forever Rock. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to his articulation. Now, The Rock does have the standard Elite articulation. Let's run through that really fast. He does have a ball joint, which does let him look up surprisingly well. Doesn't really look down. I think the Elite 22 Rock has better downward movement. We do get some really slight head pivot, and I mean slight in the biggest sense of the word. It does, of course, turn left and right. Now, when I do get this figure out of the package, it would not turn to the right. It would turn to the left normally, but it wouldn't turn to the right, and I thought I was going to break it. But thankfully, I did heat it up, and the joint works normally. He does have a rotation here in the arm. Goes out to the side, no problem. We do have a bicep swivel, which works fine. Single bend in the elbow, giving us 90 degrees, but because the elbow pad is here, it does hinder some articulation. All his hands do have a swivel and hinge combination. We do have an ab crunch, which goes back about that far, forward about that far, and we have rotation at the waist. Legs do kick forward only to about there, which is a little bit disappointing. They do kick back out to the side about that far, but then again, the Rock isn't doing any karate kicks, so that's perfectly fine. We do have rotation up high in the thigh, double bend in the knee, giving us quite a bit of movement despite the fact he has knee pads on. Rotation right down here. The rotation isn't up here. The boot is actually a separate piece. So when you rotate it, you're actually rotating it somewhere down here, not up here. So I do like the fact that it is its own separate thing. We do have a hinge in the ankle, which goes back and forward. And then, of course, we have some slight pivot. So overall, really do like the way this figure came out. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Rock pose for my final thoughts. Overall, I really do like the way this figure came out. If you were unable to get the Elite 22 Rock, and seeing as how we haven't got a modern day wrestling Rock in a really long time, I think this is a really good figure to own. If you want a Rock figure, this is actually a really nice figure. I do love the inclusion of the extra hands. I know when it comes to the Elite Rocks, he is getting 3 pairs of hands, so that's 6 different hands that we get, which is becoming standard for the Rock now. One thing I do think is that the cartoony paint looks a little bit better on the Rock, just because he's quite a character, and I think that character is emphasized more with the old-fashioned paint. The real effect still looks really good on this figure. Being from the Royal Rumble series, this Rock is exclusive to Target, so if you are looking for this particular Rock, you will have to go to your local Target to pick up the Royal Rumble series. Rock is part of a series of 4, which hopefully you guys are able to track down a set. If not a set, then the figures you really want from that series. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other WWE videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, don't forget to check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.